For my A2 Media Studies coursework, my group and I were required to make a music video with ancillary tasks, which we chose to do a digipack and magazine cover. Pop rock is the genre of our music video, so I analysed some music posters and digipacks and found codes and conventions and the selling point of these products. This was done to expand the audience we reach out to and also engage with the audience. For example, Jay-Z's poster is very simple. This is because this is already his 11th studio album, and so he doesn't really need to promote himself that much in order to make sales. We can see how Jay-Z's name is in different font and stands out so that the audience knows who the main important person is and who this music poster is about. Another thing we can see is that the date is much bigger than the Blueprint 3 or the Rock Nation writing. This is because dates are important when it comes to music posters in order for audience to interact and know when to meet and what to do. So that's why they have put the date the font of the date is much bigger than the Blueprint 3, and it's bold compared to Rock Nation and the Blueprint 3. Another one is Jessie J's debut album. So this one is more what you would see nowadays. Well, what you would see more common for upcoming artists, not like Jay-Z's 11th studio album. Here we can see that the artist's face takes up most of the space in the advert. This is so that the audience can recognize her and put the name to the face. It's also a sort of building a relationship with the audience through facial recognition, so when they see her somewhere they recognize who she was, especially as Jessie J has been written in big gold writing. Again, the font of the artist's name is completely different and much bigger. This is to promote the artist. The gold color could signify some of her new songs getting gold plaques. The release date is also slightly different so that it stands out to the person reading it, as this is a really important date, again because it's the main event. It's when people can actually come and see her and recognize her and like her music, is where she can promote herself. So having the date is very important again. As you can see, the date is much bolder and slightly bigger than the rest of the writing. A music video poster may be simple, however it's really effective. And it's a good way of attracting the audience and associating it with the audience. It is mainly done by having a huge image of the artist's face so that the audience can recognize and create a sense of relationship. The image is also at the center of the advert because it's the first place we look when we look at an object. The advert also creates synergy by featuring the music video. After analyzing quite a few music posters, adverts, I found a few codes and conventions that I found really common in most music adverts. These were center lining of the text, so the text would be in the middle of the page anywhere, but in the middle. This is because scientifically when we look at an object we tend to look at the middle of it straight away. There's a large image of the artist in the middle. This is so that because new upcoming artists have not got that much facial recognition or that much fame, so they need to promote their face alongside their music and their name. So you need to have their name and a large picture of their face. Release dates or any dates that are really important, so those need to stand out, and also links to social media. Now, one thing Jessie J failed to do was put links to social media, because then how are people supposed to interact with her, find out other things, look at behind the scenes, find out what she's doing during the day? If we checked Jay-Z's one, he hasn't got it either. This is something that the music adverts tend to lack. And so this is what I included in my ancillary task, which is here. So here's my music advert that I created. As you can see, the other music adverts lacked social media. So what I done was I included social media in order for the audience to feel like they have a personal relationship and can see what the main artist is doing during the day in order to create a relationship and know the artist, and know dates, important venues that the artist might tweet out or put on Facebook. Instagram could be of pictures of sets and pictures of the new album coming out. So it's a good way of audience being able to interact with the artist. One of the codes and conventions that I told you about was the large image of the artist. Here you can see we've got a large image of the artist and he's staring straight at the camera, so the audience think they get this sort of sense of personal relationship. We've got important dates, as you can see, the Wembley Stadium tour on the 23rd of March 2016. These dates are really important as audience need to know when and where to be, and yeah, it's just really important. You've got slight little bits and bobs on the left hand side where you can see it's the #1 single, the most listened to song in the week. All these things promote the song and people think, oh well, how come I haven't heard it, and they might want to go listen to it and might actually buy it, increasing sales. Finally, another code and convention was the different font of the actual song, as this is the most important thing, because when everyone tries to listen to this song, the first thing they're going to search into Google is the script superheroes. Therefore, I made this font slightly different and I put it right at the top and I've center aligned it, because like I said, when the first thing you do when you look at objects is look straight into the middle. So that's why I put that there. This music advert really relates to the music video, because as you can see, it's simple. The artist in the video is simple. His life is simple. Therefore, we thought we'd make the poster simple so that we can relate the poster to the music video. The other thing was the text. In order for the text to stand out, I thought I'd make the background black. Not only because of that, but also because, as you can see, the artist doesn't look very happy. This is because we want the audience to know when they look at the poster that the music video is most likely going to be about him, and you can tell he's a teenage kid by the shirt he's wearing, by no facial hair, by the jacket that youngsters tend to wear. You can tell. So we wanted the audience to know straight away that it's about someone in school who's going through a hard time. And by looking at this poster, when people can tell things like that, it might encourage them to want to go watch this music video, which is better for us because it makes the video more successful. Here's the digipack that I created. The digipack contains 6 images. So you have the front cover, the back cover, the left cover, the left inside cover, the back inside cover, and the cover inside. It sounds really confusing, but when you print this out and fold it up, it creates a sort of CD case where the disc goes, and all that. So as you can see, the front cover on the bottom right represents what the song is about as a whole, because you can see the left hand side where there's low key lighting and the straight face close up. The audience can tell that the artist must have been through some tough times, and when we tend to read things, we go from left to right. So in this image I purposely put the sad part on the left hand side because the music video starts off with the sad part to it. And then on the right hand side you can see that there's high key lighting. The artist is looking straight at us and he's smiling, which shows that he's recovered. From that front cover you can sort of recognize that we've introduced Todorov's narrative theory of equilibrium to disequilibrium back to equilibrium, because you can see the sad on the left hand side, which is the disequilibrium, and then the equilibrium at the end on the right hand side of this front cover. The back cover represents him being lonely. As you can see, he's all the way on the left hand side, and all that empty space shows his loneliness, and the dark shows his mood and how his life is pretty dark at the moment, because in the music video at the beginning is where he gets bullied. So we thought we'd represent that through this image as it's dark. He's lonely. You can't really see his face, but you can see how the trees overpower him, outnumber him, and it shows that he's lonely. He hasn't got anyone. The left cover, you can see he's starting to do a bit better, and he's reflecting what's been going on in part of his life. This again relates to Todoro's narrative theory, where there's a section where there's a disruption and then a realization. This is the realization where he's starting to realize what's going on and he needs to fix this issue. And then in the inside cover, you can see, which is the top right, the cover inside. You can see that the protagonist is standing taller than the trees, and he's overcome his problems, which again shows how he's gone back to equilibrium, which relates to Todoro's theory of narrative. You can see how he overpowers these trees. He's more superior to these trees, because at this point in the video it will probably be where he fights back the bully and gets better grades. So now he feels like a much better person, like he's done good for himself. He's helping himself out now. And then you have the back inside cover. This is where the CD would go. So this represents how, again, the reflection side, the realization side of the character, and in the music video where he goes home and realizes what he's going through, what he needs to do, and how he needs to fix up, especially after he had the conversation with the head teacher, and how he got told that if he carries on bringing bad grades, he'd be wouldn't be allowed to be in school anymore. So you see the front cover where you see the sad part. In the music video, this is where this happens. So he goes to school. As you can see, he's going to school. You can see he's got his backpack. Here we can see the bully and how the bully is waiting for him at school. And as soon as he enters the school, you can see that the bully starts to fight with him immediately. And this represents the front cover's left-hand side, because this is the bad part where he gets bullied for no reason and he's going through all this trouble. Then comes the part where he gets into school and he gets the bad grades. As you can see, it says go see the head teacher ASAP. He's got the U grade, and then he goes to see the head teacher, and the head teacher tells him that, you know, you can't do this, like you can't bring these sort of bad grades, and that's his realization, which takes us back to this part, which is the realization part. And then when we go here to the good part, and then here is also the part of the narrative where equilibrium is brought back. That occurs when he goes home and watches this shows that he's really, this part hold on, this part shows how he's really into his boxing. As you can see, he's got posters in his room, and we also see that he starts watching boxing, and then you can see how he leans his head forward here. This shows that he's interested, and he's sort of learning like how he needs to deal with his bullies, and how this is what exactly happened to him today. So this is where he gets the courage, and right here he walks into school, has a look at his bully. You can see the face on his face and his face, and then you can see how he fights back, and this is the better part. So he walks off, and he's obviously won the battle now, and he's no longer going to be bullied anymore, and he has a quick look, and you can see how angry his face is. And then there we go. So here is where the hermeneutic code comes, and the audience think that he's in trouble again, as it says go see the head teacher. However, when he does go see the head teacher, the head teacher tells him to look at his paper, and he realizes how he's done really good. As you can see all the ticks, and then you can see the 6 out of 6 at the bottom of the page. You can see how he's done really good, and he knows he's done good because he gets the handshake from the head teacher, and he's happy, smiling as he walks out. So yeah, that's how my ancillary products relate to my music video. Yeah.